goodies, it's your girl Christine, and we're back with another tips video today. For Animal Crossing New Horizons. Today, I wanted to do 5 basic tool tips for beginners using Animal Crossing New Horizons. These are things like, again, that I've learned or that my audience has helped me learn while playing the game. If you like these tip videos, let me know down below and let me know what other tips you want me to do, yo, because I think this is fun, yo, and we should keep doing it, yo. Now into the video. Shout out to my React friends, because that's, you know, what I do on my React channel. Also, bam! Don't forget there's new merch down below. Get you your Chibi AY merch down below. Now, tip number 1. When you start off in the game, you can acquire Nook Miles, which is another way to buy things and get more access to customization, tools, DIY recipes. You can buy new things for your home or clothes. It's just another currency that can be used to buy things. When you start off the game, get your miles and use the 800 miles that it will take to get the tool ring organization guide, I believe is what it's called. I'll put the correct title on the screen. What this will do is give you the opportunity to quickly go from tool to tool versus the normal way where you start off, you press X, you choose which tool you want to go to, you click on hold, and then now you have the item in your hand, where you can place it, you can do whatever you want to it. When you have the tool ring, all you have to do is press up on the D-pad, and then you will have access to a tool ring where you can quickly switch from tool to tool that you need. This comes in handy if you're getting at trees, unless you're chopping at trees to get wood or wood eggs, if you're in the bunny day or whatever theme day that they have going on. It's a quick way for you to go from the axe to the net, so that way you can catch wasps when those suckers fall, because if you don't have your net, you will get stung in the face. Well, if you have your net and don't use it, you will get stung in the face. So how this works is if you press up on the D-pad, you have the ring where you can swivel around and find the tool that you want to grab next. You also have the option to press right on the D-pad, which kind of quickly just goes through your tool ring and just chooses an item, and you can press it until you get the tool that you want. The downside is that it's not in any type of order. It's very randomized unless they do an update from when this video was made. It doesn't go around the circle in order from what you have. It just kind of jumps from whatever it wants to do, and that's what it will do. So that's the downside of it. But if you don't mind that, you can just press right really quick if you got fast fingers, and you'll get to the tool you need. What I do is I just press up and go around because it's a lot easier for me to go from tool to tool. The great thing also is if you press down, the tool is gone. So if you have an axe in your hand and you want to shake a tree because you don't need to chop the tree down, you need twigs, you can just press down, the tool goes away, and you can shake away to your heart's content, get you that twig that you need. Tip 2. I don't know if you get this starting off. You might have access to this starting off, or it might be after a few days of playing. You will, in the Nook, if you go to the Nook Stop Shop in Resident Services, you will see the opportunity to purchase pretty good tool recipes for like a DIY recipe card. I suggest you do so. The reason being is that the flimsy tools that you start with break very often. However, I would like to say that you get Nook Miles for items breaking. So make some flimsy tools, then make some pretty good tools, have both, so that way you can break some and get your Nook Miles, but also have your pretty good tools to use and have that not break so often on you. Another thing to remember is that you need flimsy tools to make pretty good tools. Some will require a flimsy tool and iron, some will require a flimsy tool and wood. Just look at your recipe and see what's needed to make the pretty good tool that you need. This leads me to tip number 3. When you are choosing your lineup of your tools that you will have on hand, I suggest having a stone axe and a pretty good axe. When you get the pretty good tools, you have an opportunity to make 2 types of axes. It's not just a flimsy axe and then the pretty good axe. The pretty good axe in 3 swipes can chop down a tree. You'll get your wood that you need from it, but then after that, you're left with the stump, which you can leave or keep. If you do leave your stump, you do have an opportunity for a different type of insect that likes to sit on stumps. So I suggest at least chopping down a tree or a few trees and leaving some stumps on your property so you can catch these bugs. Give to blathers, sell, do whatever you like. I do also suggest that you also have a stone axe, because sometimes you might have a big project that needs a lot of wood. For example, the Nook Cranny shop, that needs like 30 pieces of softwood, 30 pieces of hardwood, 30 pieces of regular wood. And you will not get that wood if you chop down all of your trees. So if you have the stone axe, it can chop at the tree to get the wood out of the tree that you need without chopping down the tree and breaking it down to a stump. Basic tool tip number 4. If you are like me and you are unable to dig a hole exactly where you want it, like if you're doing the tool tip that I gave you for getting iron nugget from a rock and digging those holes behind you, I can never do it right the first time. So I have to dig a whole bunch of holes in order to get what I want done. Now, if you're doing that and you accidentally make a hole, you have 2 options to bury the hole. There's the regular old pressing A again, and you'll do this animation where you scrape the hole and you pat it down and it's good. The other and quicker way is by pressing Y. I suggest you try to get acclimated to the Y. Reason number 1 is if you do the tip that I gave you, and let's say the rock is at a weird angle and you end up having to accidentally dig another hole as you're trying to break the rock, if you press Y quickly, you'll cover that hole really quickly and get back to hitting your rock and getting the most that you can out of that timed sequence. Because the rock sequence begins from the minute you first hit the rock. I don't know how many seconds, but you only have so many seconds to get possibly 8 items out of that rock. So if you accidentally dig another hole, press that Y really quick, turn back around, hit them rocks, and try to get as much as you can out. The other reason is there's a mole cricket that if you hear on your island, you would dig a hole and you try to find it, but you might end up digging a lot of holes trying to find it. If you do that and you find the mole cricket, he'll jump out and he'll jump into another hole. You need to cover those things fast. So the fastest way to do it is by pressing good old-fashioned Y, and you will quickly cover that hole and you can move on to all of the other festivities you plan for the day. Now, the last basic tool tip that I have for you is just something I learned from a mistake that I made. And you won't get this right away. This is something that happens a little bit, I would say after a few days of playing. A ladder, okay? You know how you could go to other islands and talk to people and invite them to your island? Well, after a certain amount of time of building the shop, getting everything ready for the shop, Tom will talk to you about choosing the lot space for where these new villagers will live. Before you do that, he'll give you a recipe to make your bridge, which you will place on your island. After I did that, my mindset when he gave me the access to a ladder was, oh, that's something I will also place. So I built 3 ladders to place 3 different places on my island, not realizing that the ladder is a tool, not a landmark. To access your ladder after creating it, just make 1. You can use the tool ring, hit that ladder, go over to your ledge and press A, and you will climb right up that hillside to go and get your flowers, dig your holes, or collect weeds, or whatever it is that you want to do. My mistake was that I thought I would need to place one on 3 different sides of a ledge, so that way I could have fast access, because I thought it was going to be like a bridge, but it is not. So do not make 3 ladders hoping that you could have easy access. Just make your 1 ladder and call it a day. Those are my 5 basic tool tips for beginners playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Let me know if there are any other tips that you would like for me to cover. What are new tips that you would like for me to make sure I share, something you found out, down below in the comment section. If you like this video or you like these tip videos, hug the like button. I love you guys as always, and until next time, buddies. Toodles!